Good morning, and welcome. Welcome to Getting It Done with Gratitude. It truly is our joy and pleasure to be with you here this morning. So, how's everyone doing? How are you, wherever you are, in whichever part of the world? How are you doing? We hope that you are doing well, and as always, we really thank you and appreciative of the time that you spend here with us. We are enjoying this journey. Sometimes you start on something and you think, oh, you'll get tired of it or it'll lose its buzz, but it hasn't lost its buzz for us. And we're still excited every Thursday to hop on here and share all of the nuggets that we are learning, even as we continue to learn and grow about getting it done with gratitude. And this morning, we are touching on the subject of abundance and money and wealth. And that is all to do with the mindset. And to be honest with you, Shelley, this was my biggest area of struggle when I first came into my entrepreneurial journey. And it's
Mhm.
still something that I have to work on every single day because I really didn't believe that. Wealth was for me, or that I should have money, or that I even could have money. And there were so many of these things that were in my mind, and I really had to unravel that, see where it was coming from, what it was all about, and then start to reposition and to shift the focus in my mind. So that's what we're going to
Mm.
look at a little bit. We're not financial coaches or anything, we're just getting that out there, but we're just looking at it from the perspective of how gratitude can impact the mindset that we have and how that relates to money, to wealth, to building financial wealth. So we're not giving financial advice. We're merely seeking to show how having gratitude and applying that in your life, how this is another facet in your life that it influences. So having said all of that big mouthful, who am I? For those of you who don't know, my name is Karen Williams Thompson. I am a life strategist and personal growth coach. And what that means is I help you unpack what is it you truly, truly want in your life. What is your why? What is that burning passion that you have that you've always wanted to do? What are the things that are holding you back? What are the messages that you are giving yourself, you're telling yourself every day that you can't have it, that now it's too late, that time has passed, it slipped by? Where are those coming from? How can we manage those? And then together we create a plan that's unique to you and only you, based on where you are going and your vision for your life. And I get to do this with you by using my program, Say Yes to Your Dreams. And that yes means you escape settling. And I know for both Shelley and I, as women, not settling is high on our list, if not right
Oh,
up there
yes.
at the top. So, gratitude also helps you to just keep moving forward and saying yes to you. And as always, I couldn't do this without my good friend Shelly Ann. So, Shelly,
Good morning, Karen. And good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night for those of you who are tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. As Karen said, we really do appreciate the comments. We appreciate the questions. We really do appreciate you reaching out when you engage with the getting it done with gratitude. And as Karen said, when you said at the beginning of your entrepreneurial career, the issues with, their financial abundance, financial success. I know for some people those words it feels um like a fairy tale for them that is never going to come true because they think, okay, that's just talk. It's, I hear sentences and statements like, that's not going to work. It didn't work for me. For from many, many people. And so I'm really excited about today's discussion because, like you, same thing with me. I am, when I got started, I had to identify the issues, I had to work on them, and I'm still working on them to a large extent. But I feel like progress is being made, and so I can see where challenges might come in for some people. And I think it's a very important discussion because, we all could do with a little bit more money. But
For sure.
sometimes we think that it's not possible, and maybe there are people who they believe they're doing the right things. They have coaches, they have financial coaches and business coaches, and they still feel stuck and they feel like, something's not working. And that's where I think the gratitude comes in. And for me, just like with everything else, gratitude makes a huge difference. So when I work with my clients, I'm a gratitude guide and habit coach. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Shelley Edwards Barr, and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. And I help clients work through their distress. And I paused when I said that because it might sound kind of generalized, but what happens is that, sometimes when we hit 40, we feel like life, the hourglass is coming down to the end, like life is running out on us. And so we look around to see what we've accomplished. And many of us, we're not happy with what we see. And so we decide, okay, we're going to do more and try to be more and try to get more. And what that ends up causing is that we're pushing and we get exhausted and we feel overwhelmed and we get burnt out and we're not enjoying life the way we think we're supposed to. And we feel like something is wrong. And for many people, what fixes that is focusing on gratitude. It might sound simple, but it's one of those really profound things that makes quite a difference. And
Hmm.
what the gratitude does is that it helps people um, enjoy life while they are pursuing their goals and not feel like they have to accomplish in order to have joy. And so I show my clients how to say it right, which is adjusting their self talk and language towards self. I help them to say it loud, which is making the gratitude tangible and practical and bring it into the physical world out of their thoughts. And then I help them say it always by developing and maintaining that daily habit of gratitude that is, once maintained, sets the foundation for other habits that really help them get to where they need to be. And one of those habits is the mindset towards money. And so I call it the gratitude strategy because it's really using gratitude in a strategic way. And it has made a difference in my life and in the people that I've worked with. And that's why I really think that I know that mindset is important, but sometimes we struggle with building and maintaining that positive mindset. And I believe, and in my experience, gratitude is the answer for that. So, for those who are seeking financial abundance and financial freedom, gratitude is at the core of that as well. So when Karen, when you said that, when you first began your entrepreneurial journey and you were sort of struggling with that financial abundance, financial mindset, what were some of the thoughts that were coming up for you? What was happening at that time?
I For me it was the question of, is this really possible for someone like me? And I can go back to when I first wanted to purchase my home. A single parent, son, hadn't gone off to college yet, but was thinking, but wanted to pursue that outside of Barbados where I live. And my first thought was, oh, that's impossible. I can't manage this, with just my income. How is that even going to happen? And I really
Mm-hmm.
could not see my way through or around this. And as I had a conversation with my financial advisor at the time, she said to me, what would happen if you just asked the question? What would happen if you just took some action and actually just saw what was possible? And I mulled it over for a little bit. And I guess at that point in time, my mind was like, oh, what the hell? I wasn't believing it. I still wasn't feeling, oh yes, I got this and then that. But I trust her. And so I said, I'm just going to give this a trust. She says, do this. I am going to at least try and give it 100%. And I remember
Mhm.
that I
Mhm.
went one place, no, two, no, three, no, four, no. And by this time now I'm saying to myself, you see, I knew that this is what was going to happen. So I'm getting ready now to have
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
mouth to say, I told you so. And then on one of my last calls, the lady on the other end, who I don't know even up to this day, really, the lady on the other end said, I have someone here who can help you. And she put me on to a lady who, without knowing me, whatever it was that she saw and she felt, we connected at that moment. And she said, Karen, I am going to help you. And that began the shift for me because that showed me to trust and to take the step. You don't know where it's going to go. You got to bet on yourself. You got to say yes. You got to take that chance on you. And by taking that chance on me, I encountered someone who took me to the next step. Because often we don't start things because we can't see the how. But what I learned in that whole thing was by taking step one, it led me to step two. And step two led me to her helping me and showing me how, even with what I did have, again, I wasn't practicing gratitude then, but I could go back now and see, oh, that was a perfect spot to be just practicing gratitude in that time of this is what you have. This is what you're working
Mhm.
with. This is what you're grateful for. They're saying it loud and they're saying it right. That wasn't there at that time. And she helped me to do that. And in a couple of weeks, I had the mortgage facility to go ahead and to move on with acquiring my home. And there is nothing, we talk about the joy of accomplishment, etc. And I don't know how everyone else feels, but as a single person at the time who wanted to build a legacy for her son and who wanted to make a way and build a place or build also for her future self, getting those keys and saying that this is mine, even though the bank has a piece still,
Mhm.
saying that
Mhm. Mhm.
that's like a totally, totally different feeling.
Yeah.
Joy, the light, the everything that consumes you, it really, really is amazing. And it all started with being willing to say yes. And before I go off on a tangent and actually start to shut up, I'm going to say one of the things that I learned is that I was operating from a scarcity mindset. Now, I had never really heard
Yeah.
these words or
Yeah.
anything like that before. Now I'm so familiar with them. But I realized then that I was operating from a scarcity mindset. And to be honest, sometimes it really tries to still weave its way into my present life. But now, because I've done the work, because I've worked with coaches, because I continue to work with a coach and a mentor, I now know that that doesn't have to be, and that there are ways to shift that mindset. So whether it's a scarcity mindset, a fixed mindset, because Shelly, we lost you for a minute if you're hearing me. So while Shelly finds her way back, I just want to say that there are different types of mindset, and there is a scarcity mindset where you tell yourself, this is not possible for you. Or you can have the abundance mindset. And the abundance mindset, to be very honest with you all, the abundance mindset is my goal in life. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to hang out. This is where I want to live. Oh, excellent. Shelly is back. And the other
Yeah.
mindset that is truly something that I am so passionate about is the growth mindset, because it is only as we grow that we are able to continue to evolve and to have the things. So, Shelly, while you were finding your way back to us, I was just saying that there were different types of mindset. Scarcity is where I was at, but they also have, the mindset of abundance. And I was saying that's where that's my aspiration, to be hanging out there consistently with abundance
Yeah.
in every aspect
And
of my in my life.
while the last bit that I got before the little glitch there, you were talking about the belief in the possibility that these things can happen in terms of the financial abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And what one of the things you mentioned, that even though things were working out for you, um, while it didn't come easy, they were working out, and you were getting the support and you were getting what you needed. The scarcity mindset was still there, and the full joy of the experience didn't really come until at the end of everything. And for me, that's where gratitude comes in, where you don't have to feel distress while you're in the process of achieving. You can actually reduce the distress and reduce the overwhelm and feel good about what's happening while it's happening, and not
Mm-hmm.
postpone your joy until the end. And so you don't have to live in distress. You don't have to live in overwhelm. You can actually enjoy it in the moment while you're going after your goal. And for me, that's where the shift took place, when I realized that I didn't have to be rich in order to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
My aim is certain financial goals, but I don't have to wait until that happens to be happy. I can be happy now. And while implementing that process, I realized that one of the things that was really keeping me from achieving what I wanted to achieve is the belief that I needed that to be happy. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
sounds kind of counterintuitive, because, yes, that's my goal, but because I felt that I needed happiness outside myself, and that I could not contribute to my own satisfaction and my own happiness in the state that I am in right now, that actually fueled the scarcity mindset. And you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned scarcity mindset as one of the fundamental blocks that we get, that keeps us from that financial abundance. And how that shows up is anxiety about money. It shows up in sometimes procrastination. It shows up in feeling like what we're doing is not making sense. And it shows up in sometimes reaching for the wrong things
Mm.
because we feel like what we're doing is not working, and we don't have to believe, we just need to do it. But it doesn't quite work like that. We do have to believe it's possible in order for it to happen, and for us to enjoy it while it's happening. And for me, that's the key, because I don't want to be somebody who has things and is miserable. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be someone who um, is always in pursuit of the next best thing. Well, I should say not anymore, because I used to be like that. The next thing is the best thing. And so this is done, fine, we move on. And, not enjoying what we have and what's in front of us and the life experiences that we're having. And so that for me was where my real shift came, recognizing that, hey, I have a lot to be grateful for right now. Yes, I want to achieve those financial goals, but I have stuff that I can be grateful for even with finances right now. And once I started thinking like that, the scarcity mindset began to change. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that is like the core of all money blocks, the scarcity mindset. And so that is changed through gratitude and being grateful for what we have. And that is like the beginning of all the things that would work. And so, I mean, and it's still a process, because we have some things to unlearn, we have new things to learn, so it's still a process. But I can tell you, I am not as distressed about money as I used to be.
Yeah. I can echo that. And I think that, Um, well, I'm a person also of faith, and having that faith and that belief in yourself and belief that it is going to work out, and all of those things actually support you and help you in ways that are truly unimaginable at times. When my position was made redundant and I wasn't working before my business, and in that gap, you always hear all these stories about you should have X amount of money put aside for times like
Mm-hmm.
this, etc. But they don't tell you that that money will only last for a specific period of time, and that when your drought is longer, so like if you have enough put aside for a year, but it's 2.5 years in, that there is inevitably going to be a gap. And so when I was on the brink of that, I was like, I was freaking out. I ain't gonna tell y'all no, like I was really freaking out. But the shift from the scarcity to gratitude, people, let me tell you, that is why I am here today. Because had it not been for the ability to do that and to just be able to sink and sit in, I am grateful that I still have my house. I am grateful that I have enough that is going to do this. I have what I need, even if I don't have all that I think that I want. Being able to
Mm-hmm.
be present in that mindset got me through some of what were the toughest, longest, and at the time I felt darkest days in my life. And I look back when I glance in my rearview mirror, because I don't stay there. When I glance in that rearview mirror, I am in awe. I am truly in awe of what I have come through. And it is to do with gratitude. And I could attest to that, because having that shift and being able to stay focused in the present and being able to tell yourself, this is what it is, take the next step. This
Yeah.
is what it is, take the next step and keep it on repeat. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
stop
Mm-hmm.
to look back, that's going to take you down into a rabbit hole that you don't want to be in, and it takes too long to get back out. And then you know what?
Yeah.
You're tired because you're starting all over again.
Yep.
There's
So
nothing
it
wrong glancing back, but keep
yeah.
looking forward and taking the action.
Excuse me. Any kind of looking back without gratitude leads into a spiral. So looking
Yes.
back needs to include the gratitude. So you look back and be
Mhm.
grateful for where
The
you've come
lessons
from,
learned.
and the process and the
Absolutely.
progress. And that's what helps. And something you said just now in terms of you know, when you started really appreciating what you have, and that sort of really shifted you and realizing that, hey, it is possible because look at what I have. And so what I thought about is when it comes to addressing that, um the blocks that we look at, and these blocks could be anything from, I mean, it'll show up in terms of, like, the self-sabotage and the defeating beliefs and so on. And we tend to feel stuck. We tend to feel like we never have enough. And that is like what you said. You had the buffer, you had the savings, you had the flexibility, so that it was there. You did what you were supposed to do, but it still did not feel like enough, and it ran out. And so there was still that idea of, it doesn't matter how much money we have, if we don't approach it with gratitude, it will never be enough. And for me, that is that's part of where I had to go to really get myself into a more positive frame of mind where
Hmm.
money was concerned. It's that I needed to think about enough, and having enough, and what that meant for me, and what it is I wanted to do with the money, and where I wanted to go, and what I wanted to achieve, and recognize that while I am doing that, I am here now in this moment, happy and joyous, in this moment because of all the abundance in my life that currently exists. And so we talk about, sometimes you hear people saying, we need receipts. We need to see tangibly what is working for us so that we could say, hey, I know this is possible because look at what I've already done and look where I've already been. And so I know I can go where I want to be because of where I've already been. And I
Mm-hmm.
know I can get what I want because of what I've already gotten. And I know I can feel the way I want to feel because of what I've felt in the past and what I feel now. And so that for me is how gratitude really, really works when it comes to, removing some of these blocks. Because, one of the things that they talk about, mental blocks, um, whether money or something else, and today we're talking about money, sometimes we've had experiences in our past
Mm-hmm.
that create fear and
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, and we sometimes hold unforgiveness, and when all of that is happening, it's very difficult to be grateful for anything. And I read somewhere about there's how to deal with overwhelm and how to address feeling stuck and how to begin moving forward. The research suggests that we need to do something. We do absolutely have to take action. And sometimes when we are in that state of overwhelm, we don't know what to do and everything feels difficult. The answer to that is very practically start with gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And that begins building the momentum. And that's why I talk about the gratitude strategy, because when we need to come out of the funk and we need to come out of the overwhelm and we don't know what to do or how to do it, start with the gratitude and start
Yeah.
with something as simple as writing it down, because we just need to begin, and then that momentum is going to help propel us. And so one of the things that I did when I first started working on addressing the beliefs and the ideas that were kind of holding me down, I started writing out the positivity and recognizing, okay, this is the belief that I had. I forgive myself for holding on to it for so long, and now it's okay to let it go. And I am proud of myself for letting it go. And that's how I started, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that are coming. And I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have. I'm grateful for the decisions I've made to act on the opportunities that I've had. And so I started looking for all the little things that I could be grateful for. And I can tell you, things have shifted. And I went from, and I mean, I'm talking as practical terms, I went from not understanding sales and customers and all those things toward recognizing that I have this wonderful opportunity to impact people. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. And from zero sales in a week, maybe one for the week, one for the month because of the negativity, to two to three every day. And that's the kind of practical shift that happened with me when I infused my idea of financial abundance with gratitude.
Powerful. Really, really. And I guess we share all these things, and these are like testimonies. These are these things that we've actually lived and actually happened. And we've, like, as the old people would
Mhm.
say, we've been through the fire, so it's molded us,
Yeah.
and we understand. But it's also a message to just say to everyone, it's possible for you too.
Yeah.
It really is possible. And it's about being ready and open to receiving and to acknowledging that, and more importantly about taking the action. And everything that you say, it comes right back to the gratitude strategy. You know, it's about saying it right. So what is it that you're saying to yourself about your money situation? Are you
Hmm.
lingering, or are you hold up in the scarcity mindset? Are you somewhere in between? Where are you as it relates to that? What's your perspective? What is your view and your opinion? What are you telling yourself? And so that's what you are saying to yourself. So then when you want to shift this, what are you, when you're going to say it right and you're going to say it loud and
Yeah.
you're changing that, you know, and you are acknowledging what you have and you are grateful for that, and you are acknowledging, I am grateful that I can go to the groceries and pick up whatever I want to have. I am grateful that I have the resources to put the gas in my car to get me to travel around wherever. And these are little things that really just impact the bigger picture, you know.
Hmm.
And then by doing
Hmm.
it all the time. So it is so easy for us to be, oh yeah, this sounds good. Let me do this now. Yeah, and we in it. We in it. And then ding 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 ding, and it peters out. And this is why, for the magic to really work, you have to say it always. So it's
Yep.
something you got to get up and let it be a part of who you are. That
Hmm.
every day you get up and you are thankful that you can eat a meal. You are thankful that you can help someone else. You are thankful for whatever it is you're thankful for, but you do it all the time. So every day you could do it at random times of the day. You could, if you need more structure, you can say, well, at the beginning of the day, this is when I'm going to do it. The
Hmm.
end may be
Hmm.
your time, whatever it is. My point is find what works for you. Don't let there be any excuses. Find what works for you. The abundance mindset is not limited for a few people, it's there for each and every one of us. But we have to
Hmm.
be willing to make the mindset shift, to be able to embrace it, to be able to hold that, to have that as a part of who or what we are all about. So as we go into another weekend in a week, think about it. Take a few moments of quiet reflection and really ask
Yeah.
yourself, what is my mindset as it relates not only to money and to wealth, but to life in general? What are the things that I'm telling myself? And more importantly, what can I do differently now? Now that I know, now that
Hmm.
I've had this reflection, what can I do differently? And
And what
then
can I start with? No.
right
Hmm.
now, and then do it. That was going to be my last thing. And
Yeah.
then just do it. Get it
Yeah.
done with
Yeah.
gratitude.
And Karen, just as you were speaking there, what I thought, sometimes we don't know where to begin. We hear all these thoughts and we know there's something holding us back, but by ourselves we can't pinpoint it. Feel free to reach out to Karen and she would be able to guide you through that process. Feel free to reach out to me. I can help guide you through that process as well. Reach out to someone. You don't have to try to figure it out on your own. That's why we're doing these programs. You don't have to figure it out on your own. You can get some help. And most coaches that I know give a free 30-minute consult. Some do 15 minutes, but you can reach out and ask a couple questions and see if the coach is a good fit. So reach out to Karen on LinkedIn, reach out to myself on LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram as well, whichever is the most convenient for you. Reach out because we are on this awesome journey toward the kind of freedom that we l- experiencing now. We're multiplying it and we want the same for you as well. So remember that you can get it done with gratitude. And if you need a little help with that, we're here every Thursday to chat with you about the things that will work, and you can find us in between on the platforms that I mentioned. So, have a wonderful rest of the day today and do enjoy your weekend. Check us back next week, Thursday, to get it done with gratitude. Take care, everybody.
Bye.